What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph? You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight. Okay. I hope this is the name of a band. It kind of looks like a person's name, but I mean, I'm gonna go on a limb and say this is a band. I hope I'm right. Making their debut on the channel tonight. Hope I'm right about this. We have Yousei Teikoku. Yes, indeed. How about that? Yousei Teikoku making their debut on the channel. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbity-boobity bop, do me a favor. Before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from SMB, and this is actually one of SMB's 3 prioritized requests for the month of February for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So, there you go, SMB. I hope you enjoy the show, man. SMB want to see me react to this. It is Yousei Teikoku with a tune called Astral Dogma. Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, hold it, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Let's see, this was posted by Lantis Global Channel, okay? And the video has 10 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right. Here we go. Right off the gun. Very first thing, right out the gate, official video. Wah, wah, wah.
Damn it.
Ah, yes, there's that word, official. Yeah. Oh, boy. I don't know what page this is coming off of. It didn't say anything about Yousei Teikoku on there. That might be the record label page. It might be the publishing company's page. I don't know, but we got the word official here, so you know what I'm going to say, so I'm not going to say it. All I'm going to say is, let's just wait and see what happens, and let's hope for the best. So we got Yousei Teikoku, Astral Dogma, and I have no idea what that says. Cool. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Right, let's just pause here. We could use this as an example. Okay. I'm liking most of what I'm hearing. And if you guys have been watching the channel for any amount of time, you probably are going to have a pretty good idea of my only gripe. There's only one gripe. There's only one. The instrumentation sounds good. I think it's well blended, well mixed. What the musicians are playing sounds really nice. I like the articulation. I like the syncopated parts where everybody kind of plays in unison, at least from a rhythmic standpoint, if nothing else. You know, down, 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 down. I like that. I like that. It's got a nice feel to it. Drumming is solid. Got no issue with anything the drummer's doing. Bass player, same thing. Everything sounds clean. Everything sounds well-rounded and a good foundation with those two, setting down the foundation for the song. Guitar playing, like I said earlier, I think the guitar tone sounds really nice. What the guitar player is playing sounds good. I like that. Vocally, okay. Her main vocal line, I like that. The one that's up at the front in the mix. I'm enjoying what she's doing with that line. Now, there's a second vocal line. I know what they did. They took it. They took what she was singing and bumped it up a fourth to become the actual root, because she's singing around the fifth. You know, she's not singing on the root. You know, the root's here, bow, and she's here, ba, da, 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 ba, ba, ba. She's singing around the fifth. So above the fifth, well, it's actually 5 semitones up to the 8, but moving up to the octave above of the roots, they got this other voicing, this other vocal line. And I know what they did. They just took her vocal line and they cut it. Oh, they didn't cut it. They copied it, pasted it so it would line up perfectly, and then they pitch corrected to make it go up. The problem with doing that is sometimes when you do that, it ends up taking on a little bit of a digital tone, and I'm really hearing it in the mix. The voice sounds artificial. It really does. And if you've been watching me for any amount of time, you know I am not a fan of when that happens. I know it wasn't intentional. Well, then again, maybe it was intentional. Maybe that's the sound they were going for. Maybe that's it. Maybe they were intentionally trying to get that harmonic voicing to sound digital. Why? I don't know. I can't answer that question because I don't have an answer for you other than artistic freedom, I guess. They were just trying to do something a little different. Well, they did something different, all right. I mean, it's not like it's not like this is the first time I've ever heard that done. I've heard it done many, many times. But usually bands will try to scrub that out, try to get rid of the digital. Not in this case. And I almost feel like they were pushing the digital tone up into the front. I don't know about that part, man. That part's just kind of grating on me, if I'm being honest. I'm not a fan. It's making me kind of go, you know. I know I've had a couple of times where I've been sitting here, you know, grooving along and have my eyes closed and I'm focusing on everything, and I hear that coming. I know I can feel myself. I'm going, you know, I can feel it. It's because I'm not liking what I'm hearing there in those vocals, man. I'm just not. Her vocals, her baseline vocals, her natural vocals, you know, the actual notation that she's singing, I like that. It sounds good. Her vocal style and her vocal tone definitely lend itself to this kind of song, but that digital voicing over on the top, no.
Japan, why?
Anyway, let's keep going. Let's see where this goes. go again. And it's not going away. Vocal effects. I like this invitation. I'm so vocals. Dun, 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 dun. I like that. Hear that again. One more time. Y'all hear that little dip? I'll play it one more time. Hear it? You feel it right there? Just ever so slightly just dipped a little flat for just like a second. And then came back up again. There's possibilities as to how that could happen. I mean, there's one possibility that says they didn't use autotune on that section to clean up any audio discrepancies. That is a possibility. I doubt it, but that's a possibility. Another possibility is that maybe they just didn't have the settings, sensitive enough, and it just flew under the radar, and autotune didn't pick it up. I think that's a more believable aspect, because the dip was very slight. I had to listen to it 3 times before I heard it like clearly. So it is possible. I mean, I think that's the more likely scenario. There's a lot to say. There is. I really don't want to. I don't want to start a war. But it looks like I might have to. I may have to. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Yousei Teikoku with a tune called Astral Dogma. This was a request from SMB. And this was actually one of SMB's 3 prioritized requests for the month of February for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So there you go, SMB. I hope you enjoyed the show. Okay, there's a few things to talk about. One of them is something I am really not looking forward to talking about, but unfortunately I have to because it's kind of a big factor as far as how I came up with the score I have. So I guess we'll just start with the score and we'll go from there. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that a 7.2. Yep, 7.2. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, a 7.2. What does that mean? Well, a 7.2 would translate to a really good skill rating. So overall, I think this was a really good song. It would also get 4 to 5 stars in a B letter grade. So there you go, a 7.2, really good skill rating, 4 to 5 stars in a B letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? I really don't want to talk about this, but I know I'm going to have to, so I'm glad you asked. I like the song. I want to be very clear before we go any further. I like the song. I think the song's got some really nice things going for it, okay? The chordal progression sounds really good. The syncopated rhythmic patterns that they had between the bass and the guitar and the keyboard, at times with the drums, but not always. There was a lot of times where the drums just going straight ahead, and it was really just, honestly, guitar, keyboard, and bass, you know, hitting those orchestral hits. Bum, 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 bum. You know, it sounded good. I'll be honest with you, I kind of liked it more when that did happen, when the drummer was playing against and the drummer just kept going straight ahead with his pattern, man. I kind of liked that. It was a nice contrast. As far as the chordal progression goes, everything made sense. Everything sounded good. It had a nice little gothic feel going for it throughout the entire song, accented by those choral hits with the voicings. I like that. I like the choral voicings for sure. It definitely lent itself well and was used well within the context of the song. Musicianship across the board sounded really good. Really good from everybody. Bass, guitars, drums, especially the drummer, man. The drummer was absolutely putting in work. I gotta kind of tip the cap to him a little bit. Coming up with some really nice fills, some really nice patterns, and being able to switch up to from playing that straight ahead, you know, while everybody else is doing the syncopated hits, and on occasion he would join them for him. And I like that. I think that shows some good variety. But everybody across the board sounded really good. Guitar, bass, drums, keyboards, yeah, no issues there. Here's where I'm gonna upset some people. If this had been an instrumental, if this had been an instrumental song, honestly, I could have seen this getting a 7.5, maybe 7.6. It's very possible. The vocals. Okay, here we go. Everybody's running to their closets right now to get their pitchforks and their torches to defend the lead singer.
A riot is an ugly thing. But I think that it is just about time that we hit them!
Folks, there's no reason to, okay? Because what I'm going to talk about really isn't her responsibility or her fault. She was really, with her main melodic line singing, especially in the verse, more than anywhere else, she was really kind of singing around the fifth, you know, of the root. So, you know, the root was on the C. Or, for example, I'm not saying this is where it was, but for example, if the root of the song was on the C, she was singing around the G. You know, G to the G sharp, down to the F, to the G, G sharp, G. You know, you know, stuff like that. But she's around the fifth, and that sounded fine. I had no issue with that. I liked her natural singing, her voice. I liked. The only problem is that wasn't the only voice that we heard, was it? No, it was not. we had that voice above, play it, in the octave range. I know what they did. I know exactly what they did. It's no secret. This is a trade. This is a trick of the trade. Copy the vocal line that you have recorded, move it up, pitch correct it up, 5 semitones, line it up so you do some fine tuning. And if you need, when she moves, and she moves like to she moves up a step and you want to go with, but you want to maybe switch it down to a major feel, then you adjust a half step down. I get that. So you create a third instead of a fourth. I understand that. I get it. And that's not what's bothering me. What's bothering me is the fact that they didn't, I don't know why this happened, but it sounded, that voicing above sounded so digital. It really did. In complete and utter contrast to the natural vocals that we heard from her. And as a result, it stuck out like a sore thumb. I could not get past it. Every time she would sing and she'd have that split vocal, I'm just wincing like, oh, there it goes again. Yeah, it's there. Ugh. I really wish one of two things had happened. One, don't do it at all. Just let her sing on her own. I don't even understand why they even put that vocal line in there. It was not needed. It was absolutely not needed. It really didn't add anything to the song. As a matter of fact, it kind of detracted from the overall vocal presentation, because if she had been singing just her own line and there was no additional voicings, okay, when the choral hits would come in, the vocal chorale would come in with their lines, it would have made their lines, I think, more effective, because there wouldn't have been any competition for additional lines during the places where she was singing by herself with that digital voicing. If it had just been her, blank space above, when the chorale came in, boom, I think it would have been far more effective, far more punchy, far more attention getting. Instead, you had this competition between the two, and I was just like, missed opportunity. That's one possibility. The other option, if they really want to have those voices that voice mixed in, then clean it up, scrub it, soften it up so it doesn't sound so digital. It was off-putting, man. It was. And I know I'm making a big deal about this. I am, but this is how much it affected me. I mean, I'm sitting here going, it's so noticeable. I don't even have to dig very far. It's right there, slapping me in the face. And I'm just like, I'm not digging it. I'm really not digging it. And it, honestly, from an objective standpoint, I feel like it kind of subtracted from the song. Now, are there people who like digital sounding voices? I'm sure there are. But I think the general masses would probably agree with me and say, not a fan of that digital voice either. So, and unfortunately, it was prevalent through the entire song. Like, there was never a time where it was wiped out for a verse or wiped out for a chorus. No, it was there. Every single part of the song. And unfortunately, as a result, I feel like it took away from the overall value of the song, which is why instead of getting a 7.5 or maybe even a 7.6, we're getting a 7.2. Now, it didn't in closing, let's think about this. Looking at everything in hindsight, did the score really drop that much? Well, it dropped 0.4. Let's go high. Let's go high. Let's say I was going to give this a 7.6 at the highest, okay? A 7.6 to a 7.2, is it really that much of a difference? Not really. I mean, you're gonna go down in score, like as far as a letter grade goes. Instead of getting a B plus, which you would have gotten with a 7.6, you're getting a B with a 7.2. Everything else stays the same. It's still a really good scale rating. It's still getting 4 to 5 stars. Okay? The only thing that gets affected, instead of a B plus, you get a B. I'm sorry, but if I was in grade school and I got a B, I would be thrilled with it. I would have been happy getting a B as opposed to a C minus or a D plus. So no, I don't feel okay. I feel bad that I'm going to probably have to deal with some negativity in the comments, maybe some people who are really upset with me, but I have a feeling most people are going to be level-headed, clear-minded, and they're not going to get emotional over this, I really hope, and they're going to see what I'm talking about, and whether they agree with me or not, I mean, listen, you're free to disagree with me. By all means, disagree, it's fine, but stay level-headed about it. You know, don't go off the handle and, you know, start hurling the insults and everything else. I'm not going to deal with it. No, but I have my reasons, like I said. I have my reason for dropping it down. And if it just happened once or twice, honestly, if it had just happened once, I might have just said, yeah, you know, that was their one, you know. Everybody gets one. Yeah, I want to say forget it. I'm not going to worry about it. But because it was so prevalent and so obvious and throughout the entire song, start to finish, I didn't feel like I had a choice. I had to drop it down. 0.4, you know. And the last thing I was talking about was at the very end. I kept going back because I kept feeling like I'm hearing something. It's kind of sticking out a little bit. And, you know, pitch. You know, her pitch kind of dipped ever so slightly under. And I'm thinking to myself, how did that get through? There's one of two possibilities. One, they're not using autotune on her, which this was made after 1994. I guarantee you they're using autotune. I promise you they are. For pitch correction, fine tuning, you know? I'm not saying that she needs it, but I'm saying everybody uses it. Everybody uses it. I don't care who they are. And that's a possibility. Maybe they didn't use autotune, but I very, very seriously doubt that's the case. The other possibility is they'd have autotune set up to not be, you know, super sensitive, or maybe the dip was so slight that autotune didn't detect it. You know, it's on. Listen, it's not a perfect program. It's not. It has its faults, and one of the faults that autotune does have is its auto detect isn't always the most sensitive, and you can crank up the sensitivity as high as you want, but it's still when it's a fine notice. I mean, it sometimes doesn't always pick it up, and that might just skated under the radar. You know, that's okay. It wasn't a huge deal. It just I noticed it, and I was like, something's not right here in the state of Texas. Let me double check that. And I had to check 3 times before I found it. And I was like, there it is. It's not a huge deal. And to be honest with you folks, I didn't detect anything from the score for that. Because like I said, for most people, they're not going to pick it up. They're not going to hear it. So anyway, 7.2. Yeah, I feel good with that score, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We got a 7.2, which is a really good skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then, by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.